Hello everyone and welcome back to our poddy. I am so happy to be back with you guys. My name is Linda Ray. For those who don't know me, good morning, good afternoon or good evening depending on where you are. We are back and we are back with an amazing first pilot episode for this new season. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else, I'd like you all to say hi to Sparkle.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be back.
Oh my God, guys. We had Sparkle back when me and Sparkle were in first year.
Too long ago.
First year of uni. Now we are both newly graduated.
So I still can't get over that fact, though.
I know. I had to take a pause before saying it. So yeah, me and Sparkle have just graduated. And I thought, you know what? I think I should bring some graduate back on, and I'm so happy that you agreed because I sent like a message to everyone and I was like, oh, I'd really love some people to come on for the first Our Party episode and just kind of talk about this new chapter that we're entering into our lives. And I feel like a lot of our Body members and fans and like people who are on the page are people within our age bracket. And when we started Our Body in lockdown, these are all people who are kind of in uni, some like second year. Everyone was kind of like in this weird place in their lives of like early development, career development, all that stuff. So we're back, and it's been 3 years kind of, 2 years kind of, and we're here to talk about the next stage of life. So this is a fresh start episode. You know, it's a episode that kind of talks about what's next and how scary that can be, but also how refreshing it can be.
Well explained.
Yeah, but anyway, enough about kind of the episode. Sparkle, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and why you decided to put your name forward and come on the episode today?
Yeah, of course. So as Linda said, I'm a recent graduate from acting, but I don't actually want to be an actor anymore. So that was sort of, I mentally clocked out of acting after our February showcase. Literally the weekend after, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't like acting. Yeah. What is the point? What is my existence? So then I didn't really go to uni. I kind of like, not skived, that's the wrong word, but just did my own thing to work out my own pathway. And I found out that I actually really love directing and writing. And I participated in Linda's amazing Scratch and Tickle back in May.
Scratch and Tickle, go check out.
Kind of like name dropping. And I loved it. It was the most exhilarating thing I'd ever done in my life. And I have that for you to thank for that, because like it was a thing where I applied for funding and I was able to pay the actors and myself for my rehearsal time and just see my work on stage. Like, so I have friends that aren't necessarily acting people, which I love, and also my acting friends. So I had all of them in the same room. And my friend Holly, she'd just gone from a hockey match and she came in and we were holding hands like this and shaking until my scene. And I think I have undiagnosed ADHD, so I can't sit for very long. So when my scene came up, I just stood at the back and just watched because I was too like a nervous energy. But once it started, I was just out of my head, and I just had to trust Izzy and Kaylee, and they did so well. So proud of them. Love you guys. And that's what started it. And now I'm looking for writing and directing opportunities, but also just trying to work out life like any new graduate, which is fun.
Oh my goodness. And can we actually talk a bit on that whole thing about being in uni and then like finding that your path is different to what you've studied? Like I haven't experienced it in that way, just in terms of like I do so much, as people know, like I really have a passion.
She's a busy girl.
I am busy, guys, I am. But I have so many passions and I really want to invest in all of them. So like for me, acting, even though it's not my only like career path, I still found like benefits and stuff, which you did of course in writing and directing. But like, how did it feel having that realization, you know, that you wanted to do something else? I can imagine some people go through it and feel guilt. Some people, like, how did your family respond? How did your friends respond? Like, how did you do it in such a positive way? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, watching you, it was like a new life for you. It was like a new start for you. It was like a completely new everything for you. You looked happy.
I think it was because, I guess, showcase... So we had a 2.5 week showcase rehearsal, and I got informed that normal drama schools, they have 6 to 8 weeks. So that already shows that we were at a disadvantage. No tea, no shade. It's just what we were given with circumstance.
Yeah.
And I think that just rehearsal process and the scenes I did, I just was like, actually, no, I can't see myself being cast as this. And I can't see agents being invested in me because I'm not the casting that they want. And that's completely fine, because the industry is whitewashed, and I want to help people tell stories, and I want to do community engagement. Like I found that there's other pathways to bring up stories, and I want to work with kids and do children's workshops. I've actually got my first paid workshop October 7th, Kaylee Library.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I'm doing the 12 Tasks of Hercules. Do you know the story?
Yes.
I'm just doing that for an hour and a half and I get paid. So like it's
good.
So it's just working out what I love and just putting it into a different way. And my parents, so sorry to answer your question, my parents, they don't come from the acting side. Like, I'm the anomaly of the family. So my mum's a nurse, my dad's a dentist, my older brother is a consultant in London. I don't know what he does. Seb, my younger brother Seb, he is studying medicine, is in his final year, and Ez is 11, and he loves rugby and farming.
Wow.
And I'm like, acting, drama. And like, so they were like, okay, but like not at all anymore. And I was like, no, like not at all, because that's not where my passions lie anymore. And I think lots of people in the industry or people from a young age go, acting, I want to do that. But then they go to drama school and they go, hold on, you can be a producer, director, writer, rehearsal, stage manager. You can be in a band, you can do this.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Like, there's other things to the art industry? It's like, yes. And I think that's what I discovered.
Sorry to interrupt you, but correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of people who go into acting because there's not like a specific degree for like directing or writing. And like a lot of people's choice only option was to do acting, especially from like a very long time ago. It was your only way into the theatre world. It was your only way into this industry, in the entertainment industry. So girl, really, you did the right thing. Do you know what I mean? In terms of going to an acting school, because what else were you going to do?
And also, so essentially, I'm going to tell you this, just tell me if I'm going off on a tangent, okay? So, well, I applied for drama school twice. First time, I was 18. I also applied to unis because, you know, classic backup plan. And I got into a uni on an unconditional offer, and I was like, hold on, I don't actually know what this degree is. Like, what's the point? And I then looked into being a chalet girl, and I did a crookery course. And I told Phoebe this in Edinburgh when I was at the Fringe. She was like, ha, that is so funny. And I was like, I know, another life that I could have led.
Oh, wow.
And then I did those interviews. I didn't get any job, obviously, because I was not meant to be a chalet girl, because I can cook, but I'm not cooking for like 10 people every day. Not my job. No. And I was like, hold on, no, but I want to apply for drama school again. Like, that's why I want to do this. So then I became wholly invested into applying for drama schools instead of unis, because when I went to uni, like open days or auditions, it wasn't the standard that I wanted to be kept to. And I think that's why I knew acting was my thing, because I wanted that level of discipline. Because my friends who have gone to uni, they have 8 hours a week. And in their final year, they have 5. Just to let everyone know, we probably had 45 hours a week, and then in the final year, depending on what show you did, it was like 50 to 55. So that
and
just
Saturdays, guys, and Saturdays. We didn't really have weekends off when it comes to like, and not even weekends, evenings, like production weeks, like people, people listening, like
sleep, bye-bye.
Like honestly, people need to give like people who are studying creative courses a bit more leniency. I mean, it took so long for like our families to understand. I don't know about you, but like the first year they were like, girl, there's no way you are still in uni at 9 p.m.
I think my family were just like, but why are you a lamb for 6 weeks? Why are you dancing all day? And I'm like, because I can. Because that's what I'm meant to do.
Yeah, it was understanding that there's other things within acting that's just not getting up and going na 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 na.
Because you have to do all the building blocks. And my family have been very kind and loving and have seen that I want to do this.
Yeah.
And because I've just done an R&D for 2 plays, 2 tribes, sorry. Go see it in November 22nd at Leeds Playhouse. They're amazing. Ricky and Simon, chef's kiss. And I loved it because it was, my family was supportive and telling me every day, like asking me questions about it. They love asking questions and learning about it. But then it's like the thing of when I go home, they're like, okay. And I'm like, I know, because we're both in the countryside. Like, this makes no sense that I'm literally creative coming home. But they also, to go with your thing of like families and stuff, like, and moving away from home for uni and stuff like that, that changed. But now we've got like this adulthood thing. The fact of like not going home.
That's a difficult one.
I decided very early on that I was not going to move back home because I'm originally from Devon, like down south Exeter. Tiverton, if we're going very specific. No one knows there, don't go. And I was like, I can't move back because I can spend a maximum of 5 days there now. I've worked out the time. And if it has to be there any longer, I have to see my grandparents or I will feel hopeless because it's such a different life that I lead now from when I went to school. And I was like, no, I have to stay in these. I have to I'm going to graft, I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to need support. But like,
and you need to be in a creative space. I think one of the things I struggle with going back home is I completely love it, like you said, the first few days and everything. But
everyone loves you, smothers you, gives
it's
you.
about
Make sure you look after you, and
yeah.
then, oh no, you need to do 10,000 jobs today.
Exactly, and they have
then
nothing
tomorrow
to do with what you really want to do, and then you end up feeling really hopeless and mentally like that challenge already with yourself of like telling yourself you're good enough, telling yourself that you're being productive, telling yourself that you're doing the work towards your creative industry or your creative role, because everyone in the creative industry knows that it's a constant battle. It's a constant, like, there's no take a day off, you know what I mean, and stop selling yourself. You gotta sell yourself 24/7.
I was chatting with JR the other day. So JR's my flatmate, and I was saying about this week's plan because I've now finished the R&D, so I'm going to try not be depressed this week, because otherwise I will fall into a bottomless pit and be like, but I'm not being creative anymore. And I was like, I'm going to try and do loads of applications this week and do some writing. He's like, but allow that day of Netflix. And I was like, no, but I can't do that. And he's like, no, you're going to have to. And I was like, okay. Because I hate that, because I've grown up with a family that you need to be productive all the time. And you need to be doing something, like, and then going home for 5 days or like for 2 weeks and just chilling. They don't understand the concept of just chilling. Because they have to feed the horse, they have to feed the sheep, they have to walk the dog, they have to go to grandparents, they have to go shopping, they have to then drive somewhere else, pick up from school. And it's like, but I don't want, that's not my life. I don't have 1,000 animals to feed. I don't want that, and that's not my life.
I literally just have spent speaking of the fact that we've graduated and this whole starting afresh thing, the first thing I did when I graduated was, first of all, 2 weeks before graduation, got my ass in therapy, because I knew what was about to happen was a mental breakdown that is going to happen.
Did you feel like you're going to have one? Like, did your body know, or did your brain go, oh God, I'm graduating, like this is going to happen?
Not my brain. So I didn't, it was more my body. Like you said though, I've spent the last 3 years working my ass off. I have worked my ass off to launch my name and to fucking exist somewhere in Leeds. Do you know what I mean? Sorry for the language, y'all. But I really have worked my ass off. So I was like, you know what? My body feels it. Do you know what I mean? My body was feeling it. I just done Ensemble for 4 weeks, which is very hectic. It's children's theatre, and
amazing company. Go check them out.
So good, so good. Shout out to Ensemble. And they honestly put me in a lead role for every single show that we did, which was so amazing. Like, I was the first Black Alice in Wonderland. If there's another one that you guys have seen, at me. But I believe that there's a lot of Black Alices out there, but I was one of the first. And it was just great to like feel that. Do you know what I mean? It was great to see that. It was great to see everyone responding to me. So I was very physically active. And you know, when you're so happy in your art, you forget the pain, especially for people who have other illnesses and conditions like myself, chronic illnesses. Like, when you have a chronic illness and then you're being creative, you forget that the pain is going to follow afterwards, because you are in pain pretty much 24/7, but you don't feel it as much when you're creating. Do you know what I mean?
Generally how you feel.
Generally how I feel, yeah. Like, it's, for me, it's like 24/7 pain. Just at some points it's more, some points it's less. Creative wise, completely.
And how do you find that balance when you are being creative and giving yourself those rests? Like, how do you...
Like, finding natural ways that my body will be healing. Like, I've had to figure out what causes the pain. So like inflammation, my muscles, my bones. And then once I access what the cause of pain is, I'm able to treat it. With even stuff like ginger. Like, I drink, you know me, with my lemon and honey and ginger.
She would drink this every day for Boys Be Boys, and no joke. And then we all started taking vitamin D because of Linda.
So guys, take your vitamins. It's so, even if you don't like pills, take that natural way. So that's what I did. I looked for like the foods, good, like the type of foods that help my hormones balance, that help me like help my physical like.
And what are
hormones.
those? Like, what kind of foods?
So oranges are really good because of the natural vitamin C that you get in it. But I also have acid reflux, so I was like, oh, gotta stay away from citrus in general. Do you know what I mean? There's really good green
like kale.
Kale, cabbage, any green vegetables really helpful. Sweet potato helps me so much with my chronic pain, and carrots.
Interesting.
And carrots help me with my eyes, because my side effect of my eyes that I have with my chronic pain. So like, there's so many things that like, it's so important for you to do the research in. And then, so basically my body went into this like, oh girl, you've been having too much fun on the creative side that you've forgotten to take care of your body. I was already planning to spend the whole August resting. Like, I was like, you know what, let me spend the whole August resting. It turned into August and September resting, which is fine. But I honestly needed it. So that's the first thing I did to moving on. I was like, let me get my body and my mind right. finally got counselling, which wasn't easy because in England I had to get mine through my GP, which is my general practice doctor, but after like 2 years and stuff. So you know what I mean? It's like a waiting list and stuff like that. So I finally got it and got put to the top of the waiting list because my anxiety was just off the roofs before graduation. And that was mainly because of personal stuff and like family and understanding this new point that we are at in our lives, that we have to transition into this new person. Like becoming a new person is very hard with also so many people around you telling you that maybe you shouldn't be that person or reminding you of the person you used to be, which isn't bad or anything. It's just you want to be a different version of you. Like for me, what was important for me was to stand up for myself. And I feel like I'm never anyone who's been in any beef or anything. So like standing up for myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, in the last 3 years, let me correct that. Since I've started
that's
uni.
Still good though. That's impressive.
I know.
3 years. I wish I was you, boo. I wish I was you.
So because of that, I was like, I haven't actually noticed that I haven't been sticking up for myself in terms of like, even within my friendship groups. So like I got to a point where I was like, I need to analyze the people around me properly. And like uni, you know, is one of those places where everyone connects and everyone gets an hours, like drama courses get so close up. They really underestimate like how it's different it's going to be afterwards.
And then also with COVID, we were the first year of COVID, so we were forced to love each other. And I think that
forced
has
is a
now,
good word, not in a bad way.
No, but it was.
Like,
we were forced to love each other because we had no one else.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't go out and like meet new people from Leeds University or Leeds Sparkle because we were legally not able to. But then like it was just. But I found my best mates from. Like going outside of drama and bringing them into my world. Yes, like I've met crazy people like you, like JR, like Izzy and Katie. Like I've met some amazing people, but it's knowing that having that balance.
Especially because this is our profession. Do you know what I mean? So it can get so blurred. You can think that just because you're working with someone a lot professionally, that must mean they're your friend because that's who you spend time with 24/7 of the time.
Yeah.
And because you're doing something fun, you don't realize it's a job or you don't realize you're doing something professional. Do you know what I mean? So I had to literally stop for a second and be like, you know what? I'm a producer. I do all these things. I love community people and I love people in general. So I help a lot of people and sometimes personally, I'm so loving and I give so much. And sometimes I don't like know when to give what to specific people. Like I can give everything to everyone. So I got to a point where I was like, oh my God, I thought every single person was as deep as I was to them. Do you know what I mean? So I had to like take a minute. And even some people who are generally see me as their really good friends, I kind of woke up and I was like, I think I need to cut some people off. Do you know what I mean?
But that's completely understandable with like the next bit of our lives because unfortunately, I hate this, and I've said this to my friends, like, it's a chapter. Like, uni is a chapter, school's a chapter, childhood's a chapter, and that 3 years, even though it's not that long in, like, actual retrospect of life, that's actually a really impactful time in our life, but, like, so my best friend Holly, she's moved up to Glasgow, and she's been my best friend for the last 3 years, and I want to keep her in the next chapter, but she's on her own, like, little path, so, like, working out our new relationship of being, like, long-distance friends, but then knowing, actually... And you know how you were talking about like how you gave so much love to everyone. I felt like I was the same, but just in a different scenario. And like I was very a person of I've Taurus, so stubborn, loving, fiercely loyal to my friends.
Oh my God, yeah.
And like it was, I tried to fix people and then forget what I was, and like if I won't go into it, but like it was a long time. And I think in my final year, I was like, actually, no, I have to stand up for myself and go, no. And actually, like now I'm much happier for it. And when I go home, I'm at home. And having those relationships are friendships that support you no matter what through this change. And like my uni mate, like I say uni mates, but at least uni mates, like they're on their own chapter, and my boyfriend, he's still at uni.
Yeah.
Like
oh my goodness.
Working out that chapter of being with someone who's still a student while I'm trying to work out my adult life. So like he came back from France on Wednesday, I came back on Saturday, and he was very good with communication of being like, I just need a couple of days to settle back in. And I was like, perfect. Thank you for being open with that. Yeah. And I think the next stage of my life will be communicating with people and not trying to put pressure on them, because I think for the last 2 years, Roy, godsend, I essentially moved in with him for the last 2 years because I couldn't go home. Yeah. Because I didn't mentally feel like I could go home because it was like a storage unit for me. And like that was just unfortunately the way I felt. Yeah. And I now know that, and I won't go into that again. And I know I can't live with 6 other people. I'm not that person.
I can't. That's why I didn't live with anyone in my 3 years. Literally, I knew. Otherwise, I'd be in a worse off position. No offense to you, but like, or everyone else out there. But I just knew myself, like.
And like, and it's just knowing in yourself that actually, like, people do change, but like, they're just not your people, and that's completely fine. And like, you can. I think it's almost growing up as well in the sense of you can have people that are in their lives. You can have your own relationship with the person that's still connected to them in that sense. So it's just like being open in that sense. And like with my friends from like these uni, sorry, going back to the point, like it's just working out my relationship with them now they're adults and working out like stuff and like organising sleepovers.
Oh my God,
and like making sure that actually making sure you spend some time with people like my friend Hannah on Tuesday, like tomorrow we're going to Left Bank and we're just doing applications all day and making sure we're accountable, and that's still a friendship, we're still spending time together, but we're being productive in a sense of we're supporting each other. And like Hannah does makeup design and makeup product design. She's so creative, so cool. Love Hannah. And we know nothing about each other's fields, but we're so open to learning and just being there for each other. And that's all it needs to be.
It is. And like to kind of like have our closing off conversation, I feel like this all leads into now deciding when we're changing a chapter in our life, it's getting to a point where we're like, okay, you get to yourself, know what you are, that whole acceptance thing. We had like a brief conversation before the podcast just about acceptance, and to quickly touch on that, it's the acceptance we mean is like accepting some of the traumas in your life in order for you to move on, accepting some people like that they're going to be that specific way and you can't change that, and then moving on, or accepting specific scenarios or relationships just so you can move on. Like acceptance is honestly for no one else but yourself, and I've realized that. It's taken me honestly forever to realize that, but I'm still young, do you know what I mean? It's going to take you forever, no matter what age you are. You could be way older than me and still really be finding it hard to accept things, because life changes and then you have to accept new things every single time. But I think as long as you understand that acceptance is hurtful and that's okay. So like I spent like a month and a half crying literally every single day. Like it's okay. It's so good for you. Do you know what I mean? So like acceptance, moving on. But going back to my point, it's kind of knowing what you want to be around, knowing who you want to be around, and surrounding yourself with people who you think can support you, but not only support you, but you don't even have to explain some things to them. Like I was in such a vulnerable place in my life that I was like making sure I was surrounding myself with only specific people. Sometimes it's hard. You can't avoid some people, you know what I mean? But it's just knowing that giving your energy to specific things.
But it's also putting boundaries in and going, okay, I know how I feel when I'm with that person or when I'm in that scenario. I go, no, I'm not going to put myself in that and not put myself through that multiple times like I've done in the past, because it's not worth the overthinking the pain afterwards and going, why did I talk like that? Why did they look at me like that? Like, what's the point? Because we as adults don't have to do that now. We don't have to force ourselves into scenarios we can go, no.
And that's
no
hard to
is
understand, you know? Like young adults don't understand that we have so much guilt as young people that when we say no, or when we don't want something, or when we stick to what we want, we feel so bad because we're used to that child mind and mentality and that fear that came behind it of if you say no, we're not going to like that. Do you know what I mean?
You don't know enough. You can't possibly... You are old enough to know. No, I am. Yeah. I'm 22. I've been 22 for a while now. Like, I know my rights. Not my rights, but like...
Yeah, you know what you want.
But it's also the stage of knowing your own worth. Like, with the workshop thing I was talking about, like, how much people can pay me.
Exactly.
And also, like, the adult stuff of, like, financing. Like, I'm not a techie person. I'm a finance bro, and I will never be. But I will happily learn that from someone like my best friend Tom. He's amazing at that, and he was like, "We'll do a tax and Excel spreadsheet." And I was like, literally, was like, "Oh my god, I could cry." But I just need that guidance from some people who are willing to help. It's finding people that are willing to help you.
Yeah.
And not expect anything in return.
Exactly.
Because that bond is unbreakable.
Oh, yeah. So just find your people. And sometimes it'll be hard to find your people. And sometimes it'll be hard to surround yourself with the kind of energy you want. And it may take you freaking forever. But I think, like, honestly, just when it comes to moving on and having like a fresh start, like our body's having a fresh start, a well-needed fresh start, not just because...
Rebrand!
Exactly, a full rebrand. By the way, thank you, Lily Jacqueline, who did the full design for our body, our body logo, everything that you're going to see has all been done by Lily, who I met on the first years. Again, so like it's just, again, one of those things of staying connected, like to the people that you want to stay connected to, not to everyone, just people that you find bring value to you. And I think don't be afraid to start afresh. Like, I know for me, with Our Body, as like the founder of Our Body, it was really scary to start again, because you feel like you've like wasted all this time. You feel like you can't do it. And
You
like,
can't go back to it.
and that's also something that the entertainment industry has kind of put into you know, in your head, that, oh goodness, no, you could never like rebrand, stuff like that. Oh gosh, there's so much nice things about rebranding. Do you know what I mean? Like, just when you restart, guys, focus on yourself and focus on the nice things that will come out of it. So,
but also like knowing to be alone, because everyone's now separated and doing their own thing. It's knowing, okay, how can I be comfortable in my own space while still trying to surround myself with people, but going, no, I need to do this by myself and learn for myself.
Like, I would literally have, in the days I was crying, I had 10 hours to myself. Like, Luke would be gone. That's a long time. Like, you cry, get over it. Then you're like, oh no, cry again. Do you know what I mean? So you will get through it, guys. And for those who are not really particularly going through anything,
just wait.
Yeah, just wait. Literally,
when you kick you in the back, but you will be
okay. Literally, for those who are not going through it, it's gonna be okay. When it does get bad, it's gonna be okay. And just whilst you're okay, do your best to support your friends. Whilst you are okay, recognize you're okay enough to help other people who are not. I know it's very hard to do, but you know me, guys. Encouraging love always. Please, if you can, be there to support your friends. Send them a text. But otherwise, Sparkle, that is the end of our party.
It has flown by so fast.
I know. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you, Sparkle.
Thank you, Linda.
For coming on. Everyone, thank you so much for just hanging on with me. I've been seeing all your lovely messages and comments, and all the Our Body members who still want to get involved. So please stay tuned for the next few episodes of Our Body. We're going to have another part 2, and I'm going to speak to another ex-classmate, another graduate, and we're going to just get different perspectives again. So if anyone would like to come on to Our Body at any point to talk about anything that they're passionate about, please email us, DM us, or just text us, or find a way to reach me. Something, anything.
Just be able to find it. And then
just if you find me personally, I will put you on, even if you can't find Our Body, wherever you're listening to this from. My name is Linda Ray. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all soon. Bye.